Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If this is your first time, hi, my name is Emmy. I'm married with 2 children and a really crazy cat right now, so sorry if you hear him in the background. But this channel is all about our budgeting journey on how we plan to get out of over $200,000 worth of debt. So if that sounds like something you'd be interested in, then please feel free to like, comment, and subscribe so that way you can join us along on this debt-free journey. To all my returning subscribers, hello, good to see you again. Leave me a comment so I know you stopped by. Good to see you. Hope you all are doing well. We're going to start this video a little bit differently. I have some happy mail. Woohoo! So I'm going to start by unboxing. It's not a lot, but I mean, I figured I'd open some stuff on camera. So I ordered some things off Amazon, and I actually already opened this package, so I kind of know what's in here already, but I thought you guys might want to see. So first thing I got was this really cool like 3-in-1 charging station, and this is a thing you can charge your phone, your watch, and your AirPods all in one, which is great because I have multiple chargers for each one of those devices, so I'm so excited to use this. And then I also got another one of these binders, and I got it in pink. And I'm going to use this binder as like my savings challenge binder. I started the penny savings challenge from Rainbow Budgets, and I also have my own little challenge that I still need to create a insert for. But it was a Disney challenge, just kind of saving up money so I can take my family to Disney. And I also ordered a new challenge, which is the next Happy Mail. So the next thing I ordered was a savings challenge from Budget with Ira. Hooray! I covered up some of his information and my information just because I wasn't sure how he felt about putting all of his, address and all that stuff on the internet. But I am so excited about this. I thought it was going to take forever because I am in the US and Ira is located in the UK. And so I thought it was going to take a really long time. The challenge I got was a dice challenge. So I even asked a friend if they were still using their 20-sided die so I could get a head start on the savings challenge. But it actually got here really quickly. I was surprised how fast it got here. So I didn't even have to use my friend's die. I'm going to use the one Ira gave me. So let's open her up. I'm so excited. I'm so excited. I got a little note. I love this sticker. Make rainbows jealous. That's cute. All right, so I got the 1050 challenge, which is a dice challenge. I'm going to use this for my spending money. Oh, it looks so good. Hey! Ooh, and the thank you card comes with a challenge too. I didn't know that. Flip a coin to save. Oh, that's neat. I'll have to save that as a different challenge. That's pretty cool. So the way that this challenge works is you roll the die and then whatever number it lands on. Oh, great. So I landed on a 20 that time. So whatever it lands on, I'm going to take that amount of money from my personal allowance, my spending money, and I'm going to put it in this envelope. And I haven't decided what I'm going to put it towards. I think it would be smart to put all of this money towards an extra debt payment. And then whatever I have in this envelope at the end of the month, just have an extra debt payment. Because for the past couple of months, I've just been making minimum payments and I haven't really had anything extra to put towards debt. So I think that's a great way to do that. Hooray! Oh, I'm so excited. I can't wait. Okay, we're gonna do that today. All right, guys, today we are going to be checking in for week number 3 of July, which for my family is July 8th through the 14th. As you can see, we did a little bit of spending, not as much as weeks past, but I think that's because a lot of the bills came out in previous weeks. So what we're seeing here is a lot of like sinking fund spending. I'm seeing a lot more food spending. So hopefully we didn't go over budget and we're going to check in for not only week 3, but we're closing out paycheck number 2. And I pre-filled some of that stuff already, but let's not get ahead of ourselves. Let's go ahead and check in. Where's my pen? Okay, so I like to separate my weeks by paycheck. So as you can see, week number 1, paycheck number 1 covered all of that. And paycheck number 2 is supposed to cover weeks 2 and 3 of July. So what I did is I wrote down the budget for those 2 weeks. I wrote down how much we spent in the first week, and whatever was left over, it would roll into week 3. I hope that makes sense. So when I checked in with you guys last, even though I give my family $230 a week, we had quite a bit left over from last week, so that's why we're starting out with $270.69. It's a little bit more than usual because we had some left over. So let's go ahead and check in to see how much we spent on food. For my family, food is groceries, anything you can buy at the grocery store, such as, regular food, but also toiletries, household items, cleaning supplies, anything you can buy at a grocery store. But it also includes eating out. So as you can see, we did a lot of eating out. I mean, maybe you can't see, but let's go ahead and go through it. So we went out to have some lunch, and then we also did a huge grocery haul at Walmart because we didn't do too much grocery shopping the week before, so we had a lot of things to stock up on. So right there, lunch and groceries was $201.21. We got some breakfast the next day. Then we had some lunch and ice cream. Got a pizza, and my husband went and got some things, 8:14. That's what made me so upset because out of all the things that we spent, the huge haul, breakfast, lunch, pizza, we spent $267.51, which is right under budget of $270.69. But my husband went and he used his card to pick up a couple of things from the store, and because he didn't have the cash on him, like I keep the cash in my wallet, and so he went and spent this on the American Express card, which I then have to put money back to, cover what he spent. But that $8.14 put us over, which makes me so upset, but that's okay. So that means $275.65. We were over by just a little bit. Only by $4.98, or sorry, 96 cents. If my husband did not buy those things, what was it, 814, 267.51. If my husband did not purchase those things, we would have had $3.18 left over. And that's what I had in my wallet here. So if I open this up and I go to my food category, I do have some money left in it. So I have 1, 2, 3 gnarly looking dollars, and 10, 15, 16, yeah, $3.18. So I would have $3.18 left, but because he made that extra purchase, this actually does not count. This has to go back to the bank. We have to use a little bit of our bank buffer in order to cover up the $4.96 of overage, but that's okay. That's what a bank buffer is for. So I'm going to set this aside, but that money has to go back to the bank. So we were a little over budget, but definitely not bad. We've had worse weeks. Am I right? Am I right? I am right. All right, for my husband, he had some rollover left in his allowance. He usually gets $75 a week, but because of some leftover money from the previous week, he has $81, or he had $81. And he bought a couple of things online, like some games, some gaming packages, and things like that. So let's see, his is the stuff in yellow that have a star next to it. So 26.49, 19.79, 54.55. So he was definitely over budget. He spent $100.83. And because all of those things were purchased online, he just basically gave me his $81 cash for me to put back into the bank. And we just have to use a little bit of bank buffer to cover his overspend. Oops, let's try that again. So he went over $19.83. I kind of smeared a little bit. Ugh. So, yeah, so he gave me his $81 cash. I put that back to the bank, and then the $19.83, we just have our bank buffer to cover that. Not terrible, but I mean, you know, we don't like to go over budget, but it's still not bad. My allowance, I had $55.47, so I get $50 a week, but I had a little bit left over from week 2. So what did I spend? Mine is in yellow that doesn't have the asterisk next to it, so I went to Starbucks. What else? My Amazon order, which is what I showed you of my binder and my charging station. I used my allowance for that. I think that's it. Yeah. So I spent $49.90, which means I was under budget. I was under budget by $5.57. Go me. So if that's correct, I should have $5.57 left in my wallet here. Let's make sure. So husband's envelope is empty. All right, here's mine. $5.57. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yes. Whoop. I have 25, 35, 45, 55, 56, 57. Hooray! And so all this leftover money is what I'm going to use to go towards the penny challenge. For gas and transportation, we had $118.94 left. We overspent just by a couple of dollars, and I usually give my family $120 a week. So since we overspent in week 2 just by a little bit, we were left with a little less than $120. But I think we only filled up one time. Yeah, I see $61.31 right there. And yep, that's it. $61.31, which means we were under budget overall for paycheck number 2. By $57.63, which is good because that money that we saved, that can definitely go to cover that overspend there for food and for my husband's overspend. What we saved in gas can cover that. Woohoo! Now, sinking funds. We definitely went over in sinking funds. I budget about $800 a month. That's about how much I estimate we're going to use in sinking funds every month. And so I just divided 800 by 5 since there are 5 weeks for July for my family. So that came out to $160 a week that I estimate we're going to spend. But we spent a lot. We had a birthday gift we had to buy for. So that came out of the gifts sinking fund. What did we buy here? We had to buy a couple of power strips. We had some really old power strips that we thought were just on their last leg, and we didn't want, you know, to set the house on fire. So we went and purchased some of those. So that came out of the house sinking fund. We went and had lunch at a Korean barbecue restaurant, which I know should come out of food, but because it was like a really, I don't know, over the top experience, I thought it would make more sense to come out of the entertainment sinking fund. And Monday was a spendy day. Spendy, spendy, spendy. For the health sinking fund, I spent a lot because we got a surprise bill. We actually got 2 bills for 2 different doctors. One was for my husband's allergy specialist, and one was for my doctor. I knew about the allergy specialist bill, but for my doctor, I was not expecting that bill. So that was technically an unbudgeted expense, but it did come out of the health sinking fund, so that's why it's labeled that. Car maintenance, I did have to get my tires changed. When I went and got my oil changed last week, they were like, you need new tires. Like, your back tires are completely, there's no tread left on them. And they were right. I was just kind of waiting until the last possible moment. So I used that to get new tires, or 2 new tires actually. And then remember I told you that the school year was coming up and my husband needed to buy some new clothes for school. Yeah, he went and did that a little bit earlier than I expected, but he does have all of his clothes for school now. He has a couple of nice shirts. He has some, what are they even called? They're like sun protective shirts, because my husband is a high school band director, and so marching band is beginning, band camp is starting, and they are out all day in the hot sun. And yes, he uses sunscreen and wears hats and all those things, but he wanted just even more protection, especially this summer. It has been brutal. So he bought some really specialized sun protective shirts that are like long sleeve, but they're breathable and cooling, and they have like a, not SPF, because SPF is sunscreen, but you know what I mean. Like sun protection built into the material of the clothes. So anyway, so that was a bit expensive. I don't even think we had enough in our clothes sinking fund in order to pay for all of that. But that's okay. At least we don't have to buy it in August, because he already went and bought all of the clothes that he needs. Then for house, what did we buy here? Oh, so I also, on my Amazon order, I bought, you know, the binder and the charger for me, but I also bought some drawers for our kitchen. We needed a couple of drawers for our pantry. And then I also got my daughter some pacifiers, because we keep losing those things. I don't know, like, we've checked under beds, under couches, in between cushions, at daycare, in her diaper bag. I don't know where her pacifiers keep disappearing to, but they are all gone. So I just bought a few more off of Amazon. I think the 12th and the 13th, that was Amazon Prime Day. So we took advantage and, you know, bought a couple of things on those 2 days. So at least we got them for cheaper than usual. And that's it. So check that out. $818.39 used out of sinking funds just this week. You guys, I budget $800 for the whole month, and we spent over that in a week. Yeah. So we're just gonna move on from that. There were no unbudgeted spends, thank goodness. I mean, technically my health bill could be considered unbudgeted, and the impromptu clothes shopping, I guess you could consider that unbudgeted, but we won't. We've already considered it, or we've labeled it as a sinking fund, so yeah. Okay. Now that we have checked in, we can transfer all of these numbers into paycheck number 2. So that's exactly what I'm going to do. Instead of flipping back and forth, I'm just going to tear that page out and put it right here next to me, so I don't have to keep flipping. Okay, I really hope that's focused. So we started out paycheck number 2 with a higher rollover than expected. We didn't spend as much in paycheck number 1, so we did have a little bit more rolled over. My income was a little bit less than expected, and I wasn't quite sure why. Usually if I have a 40-hour work week, then I'm guaranteed $1,100, and so I was short $2. And even though I did have to leave early in order to get my oil changed, like I made up that time, or at least I thought I did, but maybe I didn't make up all of the hours I missed. I'm not quite sure. But anyway, a little bit less than what was expected. And savings used, or the sinking funds that were used, we had to bring in $694.61. We didn't bring in the whole $818.39 that was spent because we didn't have the funds in those accounts, but I'll go over that in just a moment. Our other income was $98.48, and that came from a bunch of different sources. In my little budget worksheet here, I kind of broke it down. So the other income breakdown, we had the change jar, which I talked about in one of my previous videos, where my husband just gave me his old change jar that he's been collecting coins from for a while. So I counted all of that up and I put it towards a savings challenge, the penny challenge, but that is still considered an income because we didn't have that accounted in our budget before. We did receive some cash back for paying for our Disney Plus last month. Apparently, when we used our checking account to pay for our Disney Plus subscription, we got $14 in order to do that. So yeah, I'll take it. So we got $14 for that. For our American Express credit card, we do have a credit card that we use frequently, usually for gas or online purchases, and then we just put the cash back into the bank and use that to pay off the credit card. I know it seems like a lot of extra steps, and credit cards are supposedly not very good, but for this American Express credit card, we do get a lot of cash back rewards, and so in my opinion, I think it's worth it. So for example, this month for American Express, we got $53.04 worth of cash back, so that was added into our extra income. And then, funny enough, I got paid from Etsy. Yes, I am a successful Etsy shop owner. I got paid 1 penny from Etsy. I made a couple of sales, but I also had to pay the fees to list all my items and then pay for shipping labels and things like that. So when it all came to the checks and balances, they deposited 1 penny into my checking account, which, like, why even bother, right? But they did. So all of that added together was an additional income of $98.48. So that's where that figure comes from. And that's what I put right here. So add all of that together, our income for paycheck number 2 was $3,520.47. Okay, so after I write down my income, I like to take care of the priorities, or what comes next. And for me, that is bills. And so these are the things that have to be paid no matter what. So all of our bills came out pretty much as expected. My iCloud payment was a little bit less. I'm not sure why, because last month they took out $309 and now it's $299. I don't know. Water, I estimated based off of what it has been. So it's been floating around $51, $52 every month. So I thought $52 for water, but it came out to actually $53.17. But yeah, everything else was pretty much the same. So total for bills, we had $429.77. So if I subtract that from our actual income, we are left with $3,090.70. I move that down to the next table here, which is the next priority. which are debt payments. So these are all of the debt payments, minimum payments that come out during paycheck number 2. And all of our debt payments actually came out during this time period. So our Wells Fargo credit card was a little bit less than expected. I had my Capital One credit card payment, my husband's car payment, and then our mortgage payment. All of that came to $1,408.67. No, it didn't. I made an error because this was less, so I need to change that. So it's actually $1,403.67. If I subtract that from what was left over, actually are left with $1,687.03. All right, I made sure to fix it up here in my next table as well, $1,687.03. All right, so the next priority, these are all the cash envelopes that we just checked in. So first we have food. Here's my little cheat sheet over here. For those 2 weeks, we spent $464.96, so a little bit over budget there. My husband spent $189.83. My husband gets $75 a week, but he had some money left over from paycheck number 1 that rolled over into paycheck number 2, so his allowance is a little bit higher because of that rollover. So $170 was his budgeted allowance, and he spent $189.83. My allowance, I get $50 a week, but I made a mistake for paycheck number 1 and accidentally gave myself $75. So I had to compensate by making week 2, I gave myself $25, and week 3, I gave myself $50. So that way my total was $75. Sorry if this is getting a bit repetitive for those who've seen my previous videos, but some people are joining for the first time, so I want to make sure they're kind of caught up with what I'm doing here. All right, and for gas, 37. Sinking funds, spent $1,858.06. with most of that coming from sinking funds. Even though we spent $951.47 from sinking funds, the savings that were used was only $694.61 because that's all we had in our sinking fund accounts. So that means the around what, $200-ish that is not here, we had to use our bank buffer to pay for, which is unfortunate because we don't have that much of a bank buffer left from June. All right, so if I subtract this from what is left over, we are left in the negative, my friends, in the negative. Negative $171.03, which, I mean, it's less than what I thought we were going to be negative. But negative is still no fun. I forgot to check my bank account to see how much was moved into my Save and Go account. I'll have to go back and check on that. But for the penny challenge, all I'm doing is putting what was left over from my spending, which was $557. Okay, what I think I'm going to do is I'm only going to put the change that I had left over towards the penny challenge, and then the actual dollar bills, I'm going to take it back to the bank because we are in the negative here. So for the penny challenge, I'm only going to be putting 57 cents. I think that's all I had left in change. And then I need to check to see how much was moved to our Save and Go account. Let's just go ahead and do that penny savings challenge. 57 cents. Check. Just gonna put those coins in the jar. All right. I went and checked my phone to see how much was deposited in our Save and Go account, and actually $6 was what was deposited. I thought it was going to be a little bit more, but that's okay. For those who are new, with our Wells Fargo account, our bank account, every so often they take a percentage of whatever is spent from our checking account and they move a percentage of that into our savings account. It's only a couple of dollars a month, but you know, a few dollars every month adds up. This is not something that we chose. It's just something that happened when we signed up for a Wells Fargo account. So yeah, $6 was moved. So we have $6.57 for our savings accounts, and that means we were in the negative $177.60, which is better than I thought it was going to be, but I was really hoping that we would save enough to where we wouldn't end paycheck number 2 in the negative. But we did. But that's okay. Better than it could have been, right? Let's take the win where it is. I'll fill out my summary box later. I just want to go ahead and cash stuff I want to cash stuff for week number 4. Okay guys, I sat down and figured it out. So because week number 5 is a short week for us, it's only going to be 3 days, 24, 22, 23, 24, yeah, 3 days. So that means we don't get a full week's worth of, you know, all of these different categories. So this is only a small amount and this will be the full amount. So what I decided to do is I'm going to cash stuff the full amount for these 2 weeks and hope and pray that we don't overspend in one of these categories. So for food, we have $310 for this time frame. My husband will get $115, I will get $75, gas is going to get $160, and I anticipate us using $320 worth of sinking funds, and I never budget anything for unbudgeted. So let's get to the cash stuffing. All right, altogether we are supposed to have $500 because I'm not going to cash stuff for gas. We just use our American Express credit card when we buy gas, and then we just pay it back using our checking account. So I'm only going to cash stuff food, my husband's allowance, and my allowance, which when added all together is $500. Let's see if we have the right money. 20, 40, 60, 80, 100, 20, 40, 60, 80, 200, 20, 40, 60, 80, 300, 20, 40, 60, 80, 400, 20, 40, 60, so that's 460, 70, 80, 90, 95, 500. Some of these bills look jank. That's okay. It all spends the same. All right, so for food, we have to stuff $310. So let's just grab a good chunk. 20, 40, 60, 80, 100, 20, 40, 60, 80, 200, 20, 40, 60, 80, 300, and 10 for food. I don't think we're going to be using this a lot for groceries because we did a huge grocery haul. We do need a top up of a couple things, milk, eggs, all that. All right, my husband gets 115, 20, 40, 60, 80, 100, 110, 115. All right. And I'm going to get 75, which should be what's left, if I did this right. Okay, so that should be 20, 40, 60, 75 for my allowance. Oh wait, before I stuff my $75 away, let's do our dice challenge. I'm so excited. Okay, so whatever I roll, on my 20-sided die, that's how much I have to put away for this dice savings challenge. Out of my $75, how much do I have to put away? As much as I want it to be a small number, I kind of want it to be a big number, because let's go extra debt payments, right? Right? Okay, here we go. Look, 2. I got a 2. I don't even have 2. Okay. I think I can exchange this from my back to bank envelope. Back to bank, yeah. I got some 1s in here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yep, I'll just exchange that. Okay. So I still have 75, 20, 40, 60, 70, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, but I'm gonna put 2 away, 1, 2, into my dice savings challenge. Hooray! First little savings challenge. Am I getting a little too excited about this? Maybe. Okay. So let's mark off that we saved 2. Go me. So that means I actually have $73 that I'm working with for these 2 weeks. And I can do that, you guys. I can do that. All right, we're ready for paycheck number 3. We're ready for weeks 4 and 5. Whew, we got this. We got this. All right, guys, that is everything for today's video. If you like this video, please leave it a thumbs up so I know you want to see more content like this one. Thanks so much for sticking with me today. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your week, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye.